Pressure. Little premature. That's really important. What's the motion?
This House will disallow the media from airing videos that contain ISIS propaganda.
Okay. Who's got the floor? Thank you. So everyone's ready?
Yeah.
Welcome to the second round of Malaysian National Schools Debating Championship of 2015. So without further ado, on the motion that this House will disallow the media from airing videos that contains ISIS propaganda, let's invite Prime Minister to start the debate. Here.
Mr. Speaker, today's motion is House would disallow the media from airing videos that contain ISIS propaganda. So before I go furthermore to my points, I would like to define today's motion into 4 phrases, which is disallow ISIS media and ISIS propaganda. So today's status quo that had been related to our motion is media is airing videos that contain ISIS propaganda. So I move on to my definition. I would like to define disallow as block any videos that had been aired by the media. For the media, I would like to define it into two things, which is the mass media and the social media. For the mass media, I would like to define it as magazine, newspapers, and also televisions. For social media, such as social network, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. So for the ISIS, I would like to define it as we consider it as a terrorist group, which it operation base which it operates at base is at Iraq and Syria. And for ISIS propaganda is I would like to define it as information used to promote ISIS. Okay. I will move on to our setup case for today, which is the problem that occurs in our motion is there are two girls that from London had go to Syria and to help those ISIS group. How do we want to prevent these things to happen? So we gotta create an organization that will control and filter all the videos that have been uploaded on the internet. And what are we going to achieve in for our debate today? Is we're going to create a better society. No, thank you, sir. I would like before I'm going to my point, I would like to introduce the speaker's role from my from the government side. So I as the Prime Minister would give 1 point on the key phrase of being bring back the No, thank you. And my second speaker gonna give a point under the key phrase of promoting violence, and my third speaker gonna rebut all of those misleading and misguided points and strengthen our case for today's motion. Okay, I'm going to move on to my case for today, which is under the key phrase of bring back influence. Why? I as a Prime Minister say it bring back influence because nowadays generation are too exposed to the rumors. Plus, they didn't think before they act, and this thing had bring bad influence to them, which they no thank you sir, that had been that they had made a wrong decision and they don't think what the after effect of those decisions that had been taken by them. As an example I already given earlier, which those two girls had been to Syria and support those ISIS peoples, and they don't think how and why are the ISIS groups had been done at Syria and Iraq. No, thank you, sir. We as the government side, we would like to avoid this thing from happening. So we should create a better plan, which is we create an organization that will control and filter all the videos that have been uploaded on the internet. This mechanism is to ensure our generation nowadays for being too much exposed, and we also want to prevent them from having bad influence. I would like to as a conclusion. No, thank you, sir. I would like to reaffirm our case for today, which our goal for today's motion is we want to create a better society, and also our stance for today's motion is ISIS propaganda brings more harm than good to our generation nowadays. For that, I beg to propose.
Yeah. Thank you, Prime Minister, and you guys are for the motion. This House would disallow media or airing videos that contains ISIS propaganda. Without further ado, let's invite the opposition. Here.
Mr. Speaker, from the start, the government side failed to characterize what is ISIS and their their severity of their videos and threats. We see that the videos that ISIS release are either threatening the country or threatening a person. For example, like if the ISIS were threatening for the country's resources, or if the ISIS is threatening to kill a few people. And if ISIS release videos that bring harm towards the country and society, the videos that they release have material which is informative to society. For example, if they are threatening to bomb a certain area, then if the people watch it, they will be able to see and they take notice of what is happening, and they will not go to that certain place. Before I move on to my policy, I would like to take on a few rebuttals from side government. Firstly, they got this whole debate wrong. They keep on talking about filtering, and you're supposed to be about exposing, and they talk about filtering and not exposing. This debate is actually about to disallow or allow videos being released. Moving on to my first rebuttal, the after effect of the videos are bad. People realize even if the content can be avoided. Moving on to my policy, the stakeholders in this debate. Media, firstly is the media that add the videos to show it around the world, show it around the country about ISIS, and secondly about the society that watches the video, that subscribe to the video or see the videos that are aired by the media. Moving on to our mechanism, which is allow publicity of the video and to defend people's rights to know about that video. And we are not going to publicize very harmful, harsh, inappropriate material which directly contains vulgar material, as like, for example, if they threatened this woman 2 weeks ago that to rape them, and to rape her. So if they threaten to rape this woman, and it leaves a bad effect to the woman's family that is still there, and we want to add these videos. We want to add these videos with an age restriction of 18 and above. Moving on to my one argument in today's debate, which is the rights of people to know what's happening in a certain country. People that live in the country are called citizens. Citizens have a right to know what's happening in a country today. If they are not informed about a certain issue, and they might get affected in the future. And if they are informed about the issue, they might actually try to help the government solve the problem. They might actually, for example, if the government is in need of money to pay off the ISIS from asking their resources, the government, if when they do not have enough money, the government will donate. The people will try their best to donate to the government to help to support their country and protect the country's future. And if they do so, the country is free from the terrorists, and they completely stop the threat of certain terrorists like ISIS. And what we have told you in today's debate, we have told you that that the government, that we on side opposition are going to allow the publicity of the videos, and we are not going to publicize too harmful or harsh videos, and we want to air it in age restrictions as 18 and above, and we see that and the rights of people to know what's happening in their country, and with that we go for side opposition.
Your opposition to your speech, the next 5 seconds, speaker on the government side. Here.
So, Mr. Speaker, today's motion is simply says about we from the government are going to disallow the media from airing videos that contain ISIS propaganda. So, we are from the government side supporting today's motion. So, before I move on, I will divide my speech into 2 parts. First is my rebuttal to the leader of opposition, and second is my points under the key points of promoting violence and dialogue. So I will start with my rebuttals with the leader of opposition. The leader of opposition has stated about how that he said that the Prime Minister does not understand today's motion that he said that how that we are saying about just filtering not expressing is not equal to disallow. So this is my response is that filtering and not exposing is it is equal to disallow, because filtering and not exposing is the way or the mechanism in order for us to disallow from the media from airing the videos that contain ISIS propaganda. Before I move on to my second rebuttal, yes?
Ma'am, there's a huge difference between filtering and not exposing compared to disallowing. Disallowing is you are not showing that video at all, whereas filtering is you censor certain parts of the video or you chop it out.
Okay, so here is that it's still the same, because the ISIS propaganda, the leader of opposition stated about how that the ISIS propaganda shows the harm things that is show how that they will harm they'll bring harm to a country and society. So basically, actually we are disallowing how from this ISIS propaganda to be spread to the society. So I move on to my second rebuttal. The leader of opposition has stated about how that it is right for the people to know about the video, and so this is my response is that okay, is right is absolute if it brings harm. No, right is not absolute as if it will bring harm. Why? Because I prove to you that the right for the people to know about video, those right is not absolute as it will bring harm. And the harm here that I want to state is that I will use by using the leader of opposition very own statement, which he clearly stated in the beginning of his speech about how that ISIS propaganda, ISIS propaganda shows about how they bring harm to a country and society. As it was clearly says that the video itself shows harmful things. So eventually, actually, it will so in the same thing, it is the same thing that it is actually harming the society itself. So sorry, I have accepted one of your ask from you. Okay, so this clearly proven that this right is not absolute as it will bring harms to the society, and I will elaborate more about the harm under my key points of promoting violence. So I move on to my points, which is promoting violence. Promoting violence is right. Sorry, I just started. Videos that contain ISIS propaganda, it shows violence, right? So it will eventually it is same as promoting violence, and we don't want that thing. We don't want that thing to happen, right? We don't want this violence is being promoted to the society because we want to create a better society. We want to create a peace society because we love our people and so on. So by proposing to this motion. By proposing to this motion, we would have the feeling, by proposing to this motion, it will eventually the promoting violence will not happen, and this the people they would have the feeling or desire to do the violent things that they saw from the video, and this we can that's why we want to and that's why we want to prevent as much as possible any video that promote violence. Okay, as an example, right? ISIS through ISIS, right? Through the video they promote violence. Eventually, people will start to have pick the interest for the people to start to follow the violence because they think, that's alright. So they will actually interrupt the peace in the society. We don't want it to happen, right? So by promoting violence, it may look such a small thing, but we should prevent it from now. Maybe from now, especially when it is in the statistic right now, right? Around 60 countries around the world affected from terrorism, and we don't want this thing to happen in our society. Sorry. Just by proposing to this motion, it will prevent us from the worst case scenario. So I move on to my second point, which is dire need. It is indeed a dire need to propose this motion. Why? Because in recent years, we could see many scenarios that related to how the society who have been seeing this video about ISIS propaganda and so on, supporting this ISIS, right? So if supporting ISIS is same as supporting terrorism. So, Mr. Speaker, this is indeed a dire need for us. It is indeed a very crucial problem, right? Because if people start to supporting terrorism, if people start to promote terrorism, it will interrupt the peace in our society. So thus, by proposing to this motion, we can achieve our goal today, which is we want to create a better society. We want to create a peace society. So maybe this look like by disallowing media from every videos that contain ISIS propaganda, it will be the first step to create a better society. With that, we from the government side are proposing to this motion. That's all from me. Thank you.
Thank you. I understand. Now let's buy to your competitions. Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, the main problem that wasn't addressed by side government today is getting the debate right. First thing they came out and told you that they want to filter these videos, which I'll be adding on my rebuttals later, but not only filter them, they want to prevent overexposure, right? Which is a total contradiction within their side's case itself, and we believe that we're going to take that down in my rebuttals. So now let's move on to my rebuttals, right? Okay, firstly, before I go on and talk about giving out an English lesson on what's the difference between filter and disallow something, let me just tell you, let me just move on with my other rebuttals first. Okay, firstly, towards the Prime Minister, we have one rebuttal, which would be on the after effect of, which would be bad, that they proposed, they portray to us in a harmful way does not exist, right? Once people see this video, they do not just start doing out what these videos do. Because first thing I tell you, it's okay, we consider the fact that maybe children might follow what they're trying, what they might follow the, if let's say they manage to get hold to the video, they might, their mindset might change to think that video. Okay, that's the exact reason why in side opposition's model, we already proposed to you that it's going to be 18 plus. There's going to be no way of a child getting hand of that video. So then moving on towards my 3 rebuttals towards the Deputy Prime Minister. Right? The Deputy Prime Minister first came up and said it harms society. But we tell you there's no direct harm towards society because it just happens in the video. They do not throw a knife out of the screen, it comes and hits you. There's no direct harm towards society. And even if you want to defend mental harm, let's take it in the best scenario, there is mental harm in that video, right? Mental harm, it only affects children, but we are gonna give this out to a society of mature people, 18 plus teenagers. So right, they already have the maturity to differentiate between good and bad. Now moving on to another rebuttal towards the Deputy Prime Minister, she came out and told you that this will actually promote violence, as in because people will start following, which I've already argued, which I've already proved you wrong, which I've already proved you wrong, which your Prime Minister said. It was the exact rehash of what the Prime Minister said, but in just different words, right? So I've already told you that's wrong in your Prime Minister, it's wrong for you now. And then last but not least, it was a big, she came and portrayed to you, there's a big dire need for them to know. So just because it prevents people from supporting the terrorists, we tell you this, people have the brains to know the terrorists are doing bad. The reason they're terrorists is because the terrorists are the minority that are being against it by the majority. The majority is the public. The terrorists are against the public, so nobody will go against their own selves, right? Now, before I go on to my English lesson, which is comparing filter and disallow, yes.
Yes, so no, small thing can get big if not prevent.
Man, if you're portraying this as a small thing that'll get big eventually, that's why you're disallowing it, you're actually contradicting your own case, as we should be the one saying that. Okay, moving on to my English lesson, right? When you filter or not expose something is when you chop off, you cut out a certain part of the scene which you feel that is extremely violent, or brings a big disadvantage towards society. But when you disallow something, you're taking that thing away from society, you're not going to show it at all. So my English lesson passed. So now going on to my one and only argument for today, on which will be society's view towards the government, right? Firstly, when the government starts disallowing this video from going around, which I'm going to stick to disallowing, not their model, which was filtering and not overexposing, because I'm following the debate. So society, when they actually wait, first thing, let me get from basics, right? The government does not expose it, but let me tell you, the government can't protect it from everyone. For the government to know itself, by then 1 or 2 people would have known already. Or maybe, let's say, taking the best case scenario, no one knows, just the government. The government's going to tell their child, their wife, or someone else, and it's going to spread through that line, right? So when these videos get through that sort of line of communication, that's where the problem arises. Because it's going to go in my chain reaction, right? When you tell one person, it's going to eventually end up towards society, no matter what you try. You cannot stop a person from talking stories that you want to. They feel that's important. They want to protect society because when they feel, let's just take an example of what happened 2 weeks ago, right? Terrorists threatened to actually bomb the courthouse in Malaysia, but then what did the Malaysian government do? They actually put it on the newspaper at the start. People read about it, and there was wonderful incident where there was actually no traffic at Putrajaya, and where people didn't actually go there. So even if it was not the worst, there was a missile to come and drop on the courthouse, there would be no big of a problem because there was no one there. No one would have got hurt. Thanks to our government, we are safe now, right? And the reason ISIS didn't attack the reason those terrorists didn't attack in the first place is because there was no one there. Even if they were to try to put a bomb on that place, there was no point of there being that bomb, right? Now, moving on how will people actually start being against the government, right? People find out that these rumors are going around, they will eventually end up finding out that the government did not tell this to them. So they're going to go against the government. What's going to happen, right? Exactly what's going to happen is our rebellions. People are going to protest against the government. Government should be more honest to us more. Then that's exactly where the problem arises. Society is against government, their own rulers, right? The governments are the one trying to help society, whereas now society has a different view against the government. So now society society thinks that they get rid of them, have benefits for themselves, and that's what's going to happen. There are going to be more and more rumors, bad rumors about the government. So this is what they're trying to do. This is what we're trying to get rid of, right? Because we want the government to be safe, we want the country to be united, because when the country is united, that's where the country succeeds. The problem in their side is because they're bringing the country towards its downfall, then what happens? Then this country would never be able to become a developed nation. It's going to keep on developing. Now moving on to a conclusion of the debate, what has the side government actually proven to you in today's debate? We've proven to you if you actually follow what side governments portray to you in debate, if you actually follow them, you're going to eventually get the videos still, because they're just going to filter them, and which is a big contradiction towards their side. And not only that, you're going to suddenly start following terrorists because you watch their videos. Just because you watch, you follow, which is a complete fairy tale made up by them. But on our side, what side opposition has came up and told you is that we're gonna have society united in the government, so we can go towards being a developed country more easily. And we've also told you that we also told you how this actually benefits society, because people are citizens of a country, they have the rights to know. With that, I've never been more proud to pose.
Thank you. The opposition, let's go to the government. Yeah.
Ignorance is bliss means that some information shouldn't be shared, or some people shouldn't know the information because it's a bliss for them, because we want to protect them, and that is what we propose in this today's motion. But before that, very good evening, I bid to the honourable judges, accurate timekeepers, the opposition sides and government sides, and also members of the floor. Today I stand as the third speaker of the government side with rebut all the misleading and the misleading points came out from the opposition side. So here are some issues that came out to this debate. First, I want to rebut. My first rebuttal is regarding their mechanism, where they say that they want to allow, they want to allow publicity because they want to defend the society's right to know about this. But as I told you in my opening speech, that sometimes that ignorance is bliss. I believe that, which in this case, that we believe that the society shouldn't know about this, shouldn't be informed about the ISIS propaganda, because ISIS is a terrorist group. No, thank you. ISIS is a terrorist group, and terrorists, why they are being called terrorists? Because they promote violence. We don't want the society to be influenced by the violence that ISIS are promoting it. So, yes.
If you say that you are promoting, you say that we are actually promoting violence, and if you say that we are promoting violence, then how is it that, how sure that we actually informing the society on how that whether the situation is.
That is why I told you that some information shouldn't be shared by society, because we believe that we told you in our arguments, which we told that there's no dire need for society to know, because we believe that because we are protecting them from doing the bad things. We believe that by they're watching, right, that by releasing the videos containing ISIS propaganda will cause more harm than good, which we tell you throughout this debate, from my second and my first speaker, which we tell you that it will promoting violence, where it cause more harms than where it cause more harm. So and then the opposite side tell you that if we inform society regarding the ISIS propaganda video, and then the society will try to help the government in order to counter the problem regarding the terrorists
the country will be free from terrorists. But Mr. Speaker, not all people are good. Not all people are good, which means that not all people will support. There will still be a part of society that will support the ISIS group, that will support that terrorist group, which brings so many harms to the world, Mr. Speaker. So currently ISIS have about 65,000 members around the world. So we believe if no, thank you, I read the point from you. If this motion, if our proposal is rejected, we believe that the amount of members and the supporters of ISIS will increase. Because how the ISIS gets so many members? This is because the media is promoting, the media is showing the video, the propaganda video of the ISIS, which ISIS will also that will invite, that will influence society. The influence society say that, oh, that is a very oh my God, I will support that because I think that is true, because they are propaganda. Propaganda is information that we told in order to promote something. This something is ISIS. The ISIS, thank you. We believe that we don't want the world to support terrorists, because we want to create a better society, which is in our goal, because we don't want people to support terrorists. We want the world to be free and peace and without terrorists. Yes.
Ma'am, why do you keep on coming up and trying to prove, like, when you actually put out a video, people are going to go and follow ISIS, right? Because I tell you this, when you actually come up and show a video of ISIS chopping people's head, no one is going to go follow ISIS. You're going to be a mob against ISIS. Isn't that good for society? Please.
Here. We told you on how people have different perspective of themselves, because maybe some parts of the world, for example, ISIS is Islamic State, where they want they want to promote Islam, and they want to promote the caliphate system to the world, and they are against all the people that are against them. They will execute them. So some parts of the world will believe them because they are promoting Islam, and they will feel like, example, oh, I am Muslim, so I must support them because they are promoting Islam. They want to implement this caliphate system in the world. So therefore, therefore it will create the supporters of ISIS to believe that it will strengthen the ISIS group, and it will strengthen the ISIS group, and we believe the world, at the end of the day, the ISIS will conquer the world, and we don't live in a peace world. And then they also tell you about the people that tried to bomb the courthouse, which is it's actually a joke, but because that's a joke and that doesn't happen. So we believe that will not occur in our paradigm, because we will block this. We will block because in our mechanism we told you on how we're going to create an organization that will control and filter the substances of the video that uploaded in the media. So we believe that that did not happen, and that will not create a chaos. And in their mechanism, they still filter the video. So it means that they are supporting us, which is and also they told you on about how the society will be against the government, but if they are logical thinking, the society will believe that the government is trying the best to support them. For that, I will probably propose. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Let's invite the opposition with.
Here.
so much rebuttals. Let's hope I can finish it all in this very day. Okay, so let's rebut the very first speaker of the government, which is the Prime Minister. She said that when we allow these certain videos or these certain material to be aired, people will be influenced. But let me tell you this: people can't and people won't be influenced straight away unless they have an irrational mind. And just like our leader of opposition said in his mechanism, he said that our policy is that only people aged 18 and above will be allowed to see these certain videos and material. So you're saying that adults have an irrational mind, and of course they'll be influenced straight away. And also, you think that when they be influenced, when they see these videos, like the example, they see ISIS cutting off heads, and you think that they'll still be like, oh my God, I think I want to cut my brother's head off. No, because people have them. People have brains, and what do brains do? Brains help people think, and that's what I'm trying to prove right now. That's what I'm trying to prove right now. People have their brain to think before they do anything else. Before that, everything.
Yes or no? Even right now, ISIS member is still peacefully proving that people can be influenced.
Ma'am, I just told you, even if they can be influenced, they won't be influenced straight away. You were saying that people are being influenced straight away right after they see these certain material or videos. Please. They also said that, sorry, the government also said that, the Prime Minister also said that they would filter these videos and they would filter these videos. But the thing is, government side is actually getting this debate. This debate is, let me repeat what the motion of this very debate is. This House will disallow the media from airing videos that contain ISIS propaganda, and yet you're here saying that you want to filter videos but not disallow them. You're just basically censoring certain stuff, like people ISIS cutting off heads, and then you're just gonna filter it. But that's our job. Your job is to go up here and say that, oh no, these videos aren't good for society, and we need to disallow it. But you're going up here and doing our job. Just like the deputy leader of opposition said, which he gave an English lesson about the differences between filter and disallow. I'm sure you already have that inside your head, so I don't want to repeat it over again. They also stated that when these videos or materials are aired on the TV or anywhere else, it will bring harm to society. But we tell you this: only people with irrational minds will. This can only affect people that have irrational minds. Just like, again, deputy leader of opposition said that it won't have direct harm to the society. Also, by doing this, we'll be showing the truth to the society, so to make them aware of what's going to happen in the future. Just like, again, deputy leader of opposition said, like the bombing at the courthouse, and yet the whip came up here and said that it was a lie. Please, the government whip, I suggest you read up. And then she also went up here and said that, okay, there's some people that's good, some people are bad, and we have to consider that fact, because we can't assure that everyone is good. But she also said that a part of society
will support ISIS. But she's saying that in a way that she's saying that like she's saying that like of course a part of society will support ISIS. She's saying that of course a majority of people will go with ISIS. Okay. Also, some questions have to be answered in this debate, and those answers are: what are we trying to prove? Why are we trying to prove it? The outcome, and what are they trying to prove? Why are they trying to prove it? And their outcome. Now, I'll answer the first question, which is what are we trying to prove? Now, we're basically trying to prove a society that has rights to know. Just like again, Deputy Leader of Opposition said, if it's only kept to the government, then society would be, our government isn't honest. I don't think we can trust him anymore. But when we accomplish this goal, we can society can be pleased and be informed. So example, if there was a bombing at a certain place, we would know and we would like seal the whole place house to prevent anyone from going in. And the outcome of our debate, our side, is that society will realize the harms and the threats and everything else about ISIS. So it's basically like they know why ISIS is such a recognizable threat. Now, what are they trying to prove? They're trying to prove that society shouldn't know. They're trying to propose up here and about society shouldn't know about what's going on because it's too dangerous. But like I just said, what's the point of having people that don't know anything that's going to happen to the country? That you can't even call that a society. Now, the outcome is that society will become. Now what I'm going to show you is, okay, so with that I'm Pablo.
Now, reply speech. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, even after my English lesson, the English is still bad. Because even after my speech, our government never came up and still conceded to the fact and said that we'll change our debate, we'll do it right? But throughout the entire debate, they ignored the fact, they contradicted themselves, and we just allowed them to do so. So now moving on to actually what happened. This is how I exactly characterize my reply speech. Firstly, I'll go and tell you what are the benefits we brought towards the debate, and I'll continue towards the harms we actually gave out. And then later I'll tell you, no, they didn't bring up anything useful for the debate. I'll just tell you what they did wrong. Now, moving on to my speech, right? Firstly, what did we actually bring out towards the debate? We have told you about how important, how imperative it is for society to know. We've told you that when society knows, society can do many things to prevent this situation from happening. Society can prevent themselves from getting affected by the situation. So thus, we protect society. And I've also told you that we've told you that give importance towards the right of a citizen. We give importance towards that citizen's knowledge of knowing what's happening in his country as he is a citizen of his country. Now moving on to what our disadvantages are, right? We came out and told you that we're going to give this to adults 18 and plus, but even though they came out and told you that it's harmful, and we've already solved that case by putting 18 plus, I consider the fact that even children like below 18 should get to know, because I believe that not only children, maybe not really young children which their minds are not filled up, they can be persuaded, but children maybe around 13 and above, they have the rationality to find out what they know, and it's even better if we could do that, but as long as they're rational, right? Now, moving on to their side. What they came out and told you, I couldn't just bear what they said when they condemned about society. They condemned society of being bad. They came and told society is going to go, society will just follow whatever they do. I just couldn't take that part, and now I'm going to go totally against it, right? They told you that society will follow whatever they see. I'm totally against that fact, right? Because now, since let's say I watch SpongeBob SquarePants, now I'm not going to eventually do what he does. He does many things that hurt himself. He does backflips and then lands on his head. He breaks his butt half of the time. But I'm not going to go, obviously, just because I watched that cartoon, I'm not going to go try jump down from a cliff and drop on my butt, because I know that's going to affect me. Now, moving on to the second thing we said, where there's direct harm to a society, where people actually get hurt, right? I can tell you first thing, grammar mistake, because nobody just directly gets harmed. But what they meant to say was people only have to get harmed mentally according to their best case scenario, right? But even on their best case scenario, we can bring it down because we tell you that people are rational enough, people are mature enough, and we are not going to go condemn people like what they did. They came up and told you that people aren't mature, people cannot think this through, people cannot differentiate between right and wrong, and people are going to get affected, right? We tell you this because we want to have betterment for society, and if we want to have betterment society, for so our country can become a better nation. But last but not least, what they said that is these videos actually contain vulgar content and is bad for society. That's the exact reason where it's in the sense of being too harmful, we are actually putting in 18 plus, and we are filtering it also, which tackles the problem, right? So in conclusion, side governments to do what they were supposed to do. And let me just end with saying that the best way to tackle the problem is going for the root of the problem. With that, I'm proud of those.
Yeah. And this again, that's right. Nice about. Yeah.
Mr. Speaker, so again today I stand to give my reply from the government side. So first I will state the main clashes that happen throughout this debate. So first, the opposition side has stated on how that we, the government, had contradicting and does not understand this motion. How funny is it, right? It is the visible side actually. Why? Because we have proved to the House under the key points of bad influence and promoting violence, which means that we have proved to the House that the harms of ISIS propaganda and which prove that today's motion needs to be accepted so that the harm will be occurred to society. So I want to prove to the House that in my speech, I will prove that the opposition side is the one who are contradicting their own case and the one that's supporting us. Okay. So first about how we denying their rights to protect them, denying their rights for the people to know, to see, to watch the video, so that we could protect them, so that and then eventually we create the society and achieve our goal today. And however, the opposition side has stated about how that by granting their rights about the rights, right? So and this granting their rights that will cause so much harm that we clarified throughout the debate, right? And like even right now, even the ISIS member in prison as the after effect of watching the video. So it proved to us, it proved to the house, right? We have proved to the house, right, that the right is not absolute as it brings more harms. So move on. And the second thing that there are things that they have stated that actually supporting us is that they say that they want to publicity but still filtering. It is because they say that the video will not have violent and inappropriate material as well. So they are supporting us and contradicting their case. And we want to state that here, I want to clarify here that our mechanism is much more better, which is we are creating an organization that will control and filter the media, so the video that contain ISIS propaganda will not be on the media. But opposition should hear much clearly and need a hear lesson. So now I will read from our stance, which is that ISIS propaganda will more harms, and we are from the government side proposing to this motion, and we have give out 3 points, which is first, first, second, promote violence and the and so with that, we from the government side have achieved our goal today, and with that, I proudly to propose.
Guys, if you guys are pushing ahead, again, and goes as I will think about this issue. That all right. Oh, wait, before that.
Stop broadcast.